I want to read a statement into the record, and then we will go to Mr. Brett. Well, and then I have a couple things first that I would like to address before we go to Mr. Brett and get these out of the way. First thing is, I want to clear the air about the Queen of Hearts game and the questions and allegations that arose about its propriety at their last meeting. The Queen of Hearts raffle is operated by Three Rivers Boosters Club. The Boosters Club is a nonprofit organization and is a registered tax-exempt entity. There were questions, allegations about whether the Boosters Club can operate the Queen of Hearts raffle at a township event. I consulted with our township's legal counsel, and he confirmed that such events are permitted by nonprofits. Under Ohio law, there is a specific statute that permits nonprofits to hold raffles without a license. During the meeting last month, a concern was raised about the Queen of Hearts and some guidance from the Ohio Attorney General. The township never received a formal opinion from the Ohio Attorney General about this issue. Apparently, the guidance was informal and from an unknown source at the Ohio Attorney General's office. And the Ohio Attorney General has provided a previously published opinion from 2018 that involved the Queen of Hearts game. We sent the 2018 opinion from the Attorney General to our Township Legal Counsel to review. The Township Legal Counsel reviewed the 2018 Attorney General opinion and concluded that the 2018 opinion is not applicable to the Queen of Hearts raffle operated by the boosters. The 2018 opinion involved Queen of Hearts game that was operated by a local tavern, where the tavern awarded prizes based on ticket sales, retaining a portion of the proceeds to fund subsequent rounds of the game. The 2018 opinion relates to the game operated by a for-profit business. The ability of nonprofits to conduct a raffle is governed by another statute in the Ohio Revised Code. The 2018 opinion did not analyze the statute governing raffles by nonprofits. In short, because the Boosters Club is operating the Queen of Hearts raffle as a valid non-profit organization and for a charitable purpose, the operation is legal. So I wanted to start off with that, and I want to go from there to...
Well, are we going to, is anyone going to address that?
I'm making a statement. Do you want to address it?
Well, can I ask who prepared that statement?
Yeah, I had.
Okay. But, may I ask if our attorney...
I had input with Alex. That's correct.
Okay.
Because you made allegations at the last meeting that I had to...
Didn't make any allegations. I brought up concerns about liability, and Ms. Rovers brought up concerns, which is her job. Which is her job.
No, it's
and
not.
Mr. Brett
it's way above her
up,
pay scale.
And Mr. Brett brought up concerns about liability, which is his job. And I backed them up on it to say that I think that they should be looking out for potential liability for the township. No one made any allegations about the boosters. No one made any allegations about any other business or anything else. We were looking out for the liability and potential best interest of the township. And so I was obviously blindsided by that statement and did not know that was, it wasn't on the agenda. There was nothing to...
That's exactly what we said about the allegations you guys presented at the last meeting. We were blindsided by that.
You keep saying allegations.
So it is allegations, and I'm not going to argue with you on the record. We're going to move forward.
Okay.
And I made a statement, and that's it.
And I can't make a statement and
you just finished your statement.
I didn't finish the statement.
You're trying to be argumentative.
No. So I spoke with Denise White today from the Ohio Attorney General about an hour and a half ago, and she said, and I quote, "As a general rule, whether for-profit or non-profit, they still have to follow these same guidelines." And those guidelines were in that opinion that was issued by the Attorney General as it relates to Cuyahoga County, and saying that, again, all money in and all money out. So I wasn't planning on bringing this up. I thought we were moving on, and that this was, well, you're not moving on if you're...
I had to respond to the
issuing-
allegations that you assumed, or allegations that Mr. Volrath and myself did something unethical, illegal, which was farther from the truth.
Okay.
Everything that the boosters did was 100% legal. We allowed them on township property to sell tickets, not conduct a raffle, sell tickets, and that's all that happened.
Okay, so you and Mr. Volrath made that decision, correct?
What decision?
To allow them to come in?
Just finish making your statement, then we're going to move on.
So, just know that I have no issue with the boosters doing what you're doing. If you can be successful, I hope you are extremely successful. And that my concern, along with our administrator and along with our events manager, are trying to look out for the township and look out for the boosters. And that's all we're trying to do. I know some of you, and I believe you, to be honest individuals, and I'm telling you that we're, if someone comes to us and shows up with no notice and says, we're selling seltzer, we're selling some sort of, alcohol that we're not familiar with, it is incumbent upon us to make sure that they have whatever liquor license that is, associated with that, so that we can make sure that we're not putting the township, opening ourselves up to a liability that's not necessary. And frankly, we want to look out for that group as well and say, hey, you might need to look into this. You might need to check on this, because we don't want you to get in trouble and we don't want us to get in trouble. That's all this really comes down to. And then, and so we are trying to look out for you, and we're trying to look out for us. And this is turning into allegations and all this other stuff. That's really all that this comes down to, is that we're trying to keep everybody above board and make sure that everybody can thrive and be successful. And I don't appreciate the misconstruing things when we're literally, all we're trying to do is look out for you guys and look out for us.
Okay, we're moving on. You said enough.
Can I ask a question as a resident?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're looking out for the best interest of the township and our boosters, why wouldn't you bring that to the other trustees' attention? Why would you solicit someone to bring it up into a public meeting and insinuate that there was violations committed? You did that.
I
You did do that.
didn't solicit anyone from bringing up anything.
I don't think that's accurate.
But, okay, you can have an opinion, but to say that I'm soliciting, I didn't solicit
Under the
anything.
level of the township trustees taking upon themselves to contact the Attorney General's office when it's not in their job description, nor did they have authority to do that.
So, Mr. Brett, may I clarify, ask Ms. Rovers,
Why would Mr. Brett ask Ms. Rovers
instructed Ms.
something like
Rovers
that?
to call
Can
the
you
Attorney
shut the
General.
doors, please? I know, I'm hot too, but
Just to clarify, Mr. Brett, our administrator, and it's his job to run the day-to-day operation of the township, asked Ms. Rovers to contact the Attorney General and try to get some clarification. Is that correct, Mr. Brett?
that should have never happened.
Well,
Because
okay.
you're the administrator, and it should have never happened.
I'm getting darts thrown at me. I'm just trying to clarify and set the
Darts
record.
thrown at you, you're getting facts thrown at you. That's what they are.
Okay, so Mr. Brett he asked Ms. Rovers to do what he thought was best as our administrator, and then he asked her to check with the Ohio Attorney General. She did exactly what she was instructed to do by her supervisor, who she reports to. Then when she got a certain response and brought it back, then my understanding is that was questioned, and so Mr. Brett took it upon himself to say, well, it shouldn't be a hearsay, this person, that person. So then he called up to the Ohio Attorney General, had a conversation on his own, and then got the same exact consistent response that Ms. Roberts got. So we have an administrator and events manager, both getting the exact same statements from
My
the...
question is, though, why would he have someone under, is she your assistant? Is she supposed to do
She's
duties?
department head.
She's a part-time events coordinator is all she
She
is.
schedules people to rent the
Reception
community
hall, and that's it.
And
It's way above
it's
her
my
pay scale.
understanding that the attorney, your attorney for the township, stated that there were no violations.
That's
committed,
correct.
And he continued to call or insinuate that violations were committed. On the record.
Can you let our administrator speak, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
were
got
speaking for him
you
before.
need to speak up because you got nothing in writing. And everything that you didn't hardly put anything on the record, it was Carrie. And everything you got was, they told you they can't give legal advice. And I told you in an email to quit questioning our attorney because he issued his opinion, and that's what we're going by.
All right, my turn.
Yeah, it is your
Okay.
turn.
So let me back up to the way this got brought up. Someone came by me at the concert, at the first concert, and said, "Hey, what's over there?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, that's the Taylor Boosters. They're doing Queen of Hearts, and all the money, that they make goes back to the athletic programs. It's a great program." And he looked at me and said, "That's not really legal, I don't think." And I said, "Gee, I don't know. I don't." At that point in time, I didn't even know how the Queen of Hearts worked. So, as our meeting was approaching, I did not have time to do it myself. And quite honestly, we pay Ms. Robers to put together the events, and I kind of saw it as part of her job, so I tasked her with it. She was actually uncomfortable coming to the meeting, and I just had it in my report. And I asked her to be prepared to add anything additionally. And that was way before this went to Mr. Ewing at our attorney's office. And until after that night, I had not called anybody and checked. I had already called and checked before Alex got involved. So there was no malice, nothing trying to do anything behind anybody's back. My neighbors at my house are members of the Boosters. I talked with them about it to find out how it worked. And quite honestly, the only way to get something in writing would be to ask for a formal Attorney General's opinion. But if we do that, we have to tell them who we are and who they are, the Boosters. Well, I didn't want to do that because, quite honestly, out of sight, out of mind, if they don't know what's going on and they can make money for the kids, I think we're all in favor of making money for the kids. So they let the Boosters know what I found out, and it really should be the end of it, I think.
And for the record, I took the same approach. And when I was talking to them this afternoon, I said, it doesn't matter who the group is. It's just, we're just trying to look out for the township and our liability. So so now we're getting, I know it's easy to point fingers and make, but now we're getting to the truth of really how this all went down.
Well, my main question is, isn't that an issue that you should bring up to the trustees and discuss with them before you solicit and look into an issue that could potentially affect the township, instead of just going out on a limb and then bringing it up in a public meeting?
I don't see any difference between that and checking to make sure that the seltzer that the Legion was selling was covered under their license. I checked on that mainly because Carrie was on vacation, wasn't here. But I try to check on things that I think might be an issue for the township all the time.
I understand that.
And I think that's my job.
I do know that Mr. Robeson was upset that the Boosters were there, period.
No, well, ma'am.
That's true.
Ma'am,
You were.
I was upset that you didn't tell any of us, that you didn't tell Jim Brett, you didn't tell Carrie Rivers, and you didn't tell me.
We're moving on.
You want to say stuff, but then when I want to say something.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Messer.
Carrie called one, you called two, and you called
Just
her.
today, yeah.
Today. Why do we need 3 phone calls to the same person to get the same answer?
After
That's
legal counsel.
After, I don't know I don't know the whole realm, I'm just getting back into it.
Our legal counsel issued an opinion where we did not do anything illegal.
Attorney Generals, when we already knew what, I don't know, and I'm not accusing anybody, but where do we stand on that? Like, because obviously we're getting different answers.
We
Everybody got a different answer.
stand behind our attorney and that firm.
Is that something?
Frost, Brown, and Todd, that's who we hire them.
Yeah.
We've hired them through the township, through our official representation, and that is the opinion we're going with. I'm not doing any hearsay over the phone, nothing in writing, nothing. They don't even know all the facts. That's the thing.
And they're not
So-
allowed to give legal advice, let alone tell.
So,
you
Mr.
what
Messer?
violations.
Just so we'll kind of clear the air on this, I know people have reached out to Jackie's, her establishment over this because that's where they hold it. So the Queen of Hearts, as a booster member, alum, I ask questions, right? So the original, the boosters put up X amount of dollars to get the game started. And you're talking probably within a couple weeks, it happened quick, somebody hit it, okay? So with that being said, the boosters decided to ante up another 6,000, right? So currently, they are not turning a profit. So legally, they are good to go.
Great.
If somebody hits that thing, wash your hands of it, whatever it may be, whether they got a license or not, I don't know that aspect of it. But legally, right now, as they sit, they are good graces. That's it.
Yeah, and they are in good graces because they're doing everything
They're
100%,
$8,000
100% legal.
They've not
That's
made
why.
that yet.
Well, that's great, but so what about Jackie's establishment? Who has reached out?
I don't know specific names, but Miss Jackie's very displeased right now because her name's being ran through the ringer.
She's very
Because she's
upset.
holding the event. She has nothing to do with the money. Jackie's a big supporter of our community, absolutely big. She's part of,
I think she's great.
To me, this is just something that we're kicking a lady for no reason. She's trying to do what's right for the community, and I commend her for that. 'Cause
I do too. I think she's great, and she's a big supporter of law enforcement and our veterans and everything else. If there's any accusations, anybody in my sphere, then I'd love to know it, because I haven't talked to her or had any communication in 4 or 5 years with her. So
All right, let's move on.
I'd love to know if there is something, because I'd love to
Let's
get to the
move
bottom
on.
of it, to be honest.
All right, the next, I'm jumping around.